Ruchim haba'im b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem mibeit Adonai. Blessed are you who have come here in the name of God. We bless you in this house of God. Yivdu et Adonai b'simcha, bo lefanav b'irnana. Serve Adonai with joy. Come into God's presence with song. We rejoice that Rebecca and Mitch join in marriage in the presence of God and loved ones. Mi adir al hakol, mi baruch al hakol, mi gadol al hakol, hu yivarech chatan vekala. O most awesome, glorious, and blessed God, grant your blessings to the bride and groom, surrounded by loved ones whose joy and prayers are with you here. You stand at this chuppah, symbol of the Jewish home. May your home be a shelter against the storm, a haven of peace, a stronghold of faith and love. If you know the words, join me in the Shehecheanu, our prayer of thanksgiving for bringing us to this moment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehecheanu v'kiyamanu v'nitianu lazman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, sustained us, and brought us to this joyous time. In this union, the sacred work of creation goes on. God joining man and woman, God planting the divine likeness within them. Man and woman were created in the divine image. Male and female, God created them. May the union of Rebecca and Mitch animate the divine in each of them, and may each help the other to grow in God's likeness. Tonight we'll drink from 2 Kiddush cups. The first you will share with your parents who stand beside you now. Tonight, your 2 families are being united into one, and you acknowledge that at this most significant moment of your lives, you would not have made it here without the unconditional love and support that they give you every day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'hitir lanu et hanisuim v'hanusot lanu, al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh amo Yisrael, al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and consecrates this marriage. We praise you, Adonai, our God, who sanctifies our people Israel through Kiddushin, the sacred rite of marriage at the chuppah. We take a moment now to remember your grandparents who are no longer with us. but whose memories you carry with you every day, and certainly at this special moment. We remember first, Mitch, your grandfather Benjamin and your grandmother Vivian, and Rebecca, we remember your grandfathers Patrick and Edward. You stand here tonight, surrounded by your family and friends. All of us are so privileged to be a part of this holy and special moment in your lives. You've come a long way since that blind date on 9th Avenue just over 2 years ago. From the day you first met, you appreciated each other's sense of humor and depth. Mitch, the self-proclaimed serial first dater, came to appreciate Rebecca's willingness to talk about anything, to take risks. He noticed on that first date your calm demeanor and intelligence and your maturity. Rebecca, you were struck by Mitch's wisdom, his drive, and clarity. Soon after that first meeting, you discovered that you shared similar upbringings, and in late-night Skype sessions, you created that shared Google Doc listing all of the amazing things you wanted to do together. The night you created that doc was, according to Mitch, the night he fell in love. Since then, you've learned a lot about each other. You share the same values, a cynical sense of humor, a deep creativity, a curious spirit and love of learning, and a drive always to be and do better. You inspire and are inspired by one another, and you never want to take the easy or comfortable path. You challenge yourselves and pursue adventure, and you respect each other deeply. Together, as you said, you could never be bored. This night, above all, is about creation. This chuppah under which we are standing represents the home you will create together. It will be a shelter from the turmoil of the world, a place of quiet and comfort. But this chuppah has no walls. It's open, signifying your desire to welcome family and friends into your lives and into your home. The roof of this chuppah is made up of 3 talitot, or prayer shawls, which belong to different members of your family. Mitch, your father's, your brother's talit, and one that you made years ago. And as we acknowledge your loved ones who are so important to you, we think especially of your grandfather, Benjamin, who could not make the trip to be with us tonight, but who is here with us in spirit. How special it is to share this moment with your grandmother, Adele, who I had the chance to meet earlier this evening, and is here representing the both of them. And Rebecca, we welcome in spirit your 2 grandmothers, Evelyn and Olga, who are in Florida thinking of you tonight, even as we think of them. This morning, Jews all over the world began reading the very beginning of the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus. It is the beginning of that defining narrative, the journey of our people from slavery in Egypt to freedom in the Promised Land. When God spoke to Moses from the burning bush to appoint him the leader, Moses objected. "I'm not a man of words," he said. "I'm not a good speaker. I can't bear the burden of this people on my own." And so God gave Moses a partner, his brother Aaron, to accompany him on every stage of the journey. They each had their own strengths. They supported one another, and they helped each other to deal with the good and the bad as they arose along the way. You both said that you have found a true partner in one another, and you acknowledge that you balance each other out in many ways. Mitch, you may not share Rebecca's taste in music, or enjoy the tight quarters and busy surroundings of living in the city. And Rebecca, you might be freezing even when Mitch is hot, and it might take you a little longer than you expect to get out of the house on time. But you two have grown together. You support one another professionally. You love exploring neighborhoods together and cooking. So Rebecca might be the sous chef and the dishwasher. And you love eating, and you love analyzing. You share mad Google skills. You've taught me a thing or two about that. And you have come to share the same sense of style. You stand here now at a high point in your relationship. You are looking toward the future, and the view is clear and beautiful. But there will be days when the view is not so clear. You know that marriage is work, and you will work to keep your relationship new and fresh. You will protect your marriage. You will appreciate each other for the little things, and you will always communicate. You are partners in every sense of the word. You have a unique bond. You make every decision together. And even when there are bumps along the way, you will continue to bring the best of yourselves to each other. If you do that, and if you take care of one another and believe in each other, then you will emerge on a place that is even higher than where you stand today. And so during this time of new beginnings, we celebrate with you as you embark on this journey, as you build your home and create your own Mitch and Rebecca world. So now let's make it official. I have the rings. So, Mitch, you're going to go first. So give Rebecca your pen. No, you can leave that. Okay, so actually, Mitch, you're going to go first. So, this ring belonged to your grandmother Vivian, so it's special and significant that we use it on this night. So look into Rebecca's eyes as you repeat these words hallowed by our tradition. Hare at.
Hare at.
Mekudeshet li.
Mekudeshet li.
B'taba'at zo.
B'taba'at zo.
Kedat Moshe.
Kedat Moshe.
V'Yisrael.
V'Yisrael.
Be consecrated to me.
Be consecrated to me.
With this ring.
With this ring.
As my wife.
As my wife.
In keeping with the heritage.
In keeping with the heritage.
Of Moses and Israel.
Of Moses and Israel.
Yeah. Okay, Rebecca, you'll use the ring that belongs to your father, Morris. So it's also special that we use it at this moment. So look into Mitch's eyes as you repeat these words. Hare ata. Mekudash li. B'taba'at zo. Kedat Moshe. V'Yisrael. Be consecrated to me. With this ring. As my husband. In keeping with the heritage. Of Moses and Israel.
Before we met, I have to be honest, my life was just fine. It gets better. I was proudly living in my condo in North Jersey with a 2-car garage. I fell into a nice routine. I would drive my car to BJ's on the weekends to stock up on groceries. I would gladly come home after a long day of work and a really tough commute through Port Authority, kick off my shoes and relax. I had a routine. I had a TV. And everything was fine. Then you came along and disrupted everything. Soon after we met, we began spending countless hours on the phone, talking about all the amazing things we wanted to do together, and recording our bucket list on a Google spreadsheet. You spent a lot more time in New Jersey than you would have liked. And I spent a lot more time in New York City than I would have liked. And as I fell in love with you, I felt my life change. I felt my priorities mature. I felt my world of routine fall into blissful disarray and spontaneity. You were the disruption that I had been waiting for. You were the disruption I needed to change my life from just fine to incredible. That continues to be the gift you give to me, and I know you will never stop. Because of you, I'm now a New Yorker. Because of you, I learned to bake and cook. Because of you, I can be trusted to shop for clothing by myself. Even for you. Because of you, I know so much more about how to experience design and architecture, art, and writing, and food. Because of you, I've learned more about my roots, my passions, my talents, and my desires. Because of you, I have a fresh outlook on the world. After this ceremony, you'll be my wife. But that one word can never encompass all the things you are to me. You're my best friend, my most loyal fan, my confidant, my hero, my inspiration, and my best teacher. And I promise that whether we live in a mansion or a closet, in the center of everything or in the middle of nowhere, and whether we encounter moments of joy or times of strife, I will be there with you and for you, and I will never stop pushing boundaries, your greatest lesson to me.
In early January 2012, we stayed up late on the phone creating a shared spreadsheet called The Awesome. That's one detail you didn't hear before. It was called The Awesome. In it, we captured all of the things that we'd like to do together. While the document has since been retired, that thinking has become part of our DNA. We take it all on and in stride. Whatever we are doing, and whichever train station it leads us to, you make it all easier and more fun. I am so fortunate to have found someone with such creativity, simplicity, and sanity baked in. Kindness, too. You possess... There we go. Okay. Sorry for your back and everything. You possess an unbelievable balance of traits, including the greatest zest for life I have ever known. It's the details that I appreciate most. You always hear me. When I'm dragging luggage behind you, you know exactly where I am. When I mumble an off-beat comment, you always take it and add to it. You add to the story. You live in a state of yes and. I believe that we must be two strong individuals to be a strong unit. So for my part, I vow to stay inspired and inspiring. I will point out the absurdity in everything. Offer up my female intuition. I will always show up for you. I will sit in the front row of your concerts. I will learn to fall asleep after taking my contacts out. I will give you feedback on all of your baked goods, and I will only listen to indie rock music when you're not home. I will be your best friend, and I will always celebrate you, your courage, charisma, and clarity. Now let's dance in honor of you and the beautiful people in this room. There is no one like you.
Tonight, just before this ceremony, Mitch and Rebecca and two witnesses who are dear friends of theirs signed this ketubah, or Jewish marriage contract. And it outlines the responsibilities that they make to one another tonight, and it is truly a text of their hearts. It reflects their relationship so beautifully, and so I want to read it to you this evening. ביום אחד 29 לחודש טבת שנת 5774 לברית העולם בוושינגטונוויל, ניו יורק. הכלה רבקה בת משה ופטרישה והחתן שמעון בן ישראל וזיסה באו בברית הנישואין. Did you all get that? Yeah. On the 21st day of the month of December in the year 2013, here in Washingtonville, New York, Rebecca Lynn Goldberg, daughter of Morris and Patricia, and Mitchell Jerome Brodsky, son of Ira and Wendy, entered into the covenant of marriage. Under the chuppah, we pledge to each other our mutual love, trust, and respect from the rising of the sun until its setting. As the seasons change, leading to renewed life and growth, so may the passing years lead us to continually renew that which binds us together. May our hearts share in an ever-deepening love for one another. May our hands applaud and embrace each other. May our lips speak with clear and direct expression, and may our eyes see the good within each other. May we challenge each other to achieve intellectual and physical fulfillment, as well as spiritual and emotional tranquility. We commit to a lifetime of learning, discussion, and adventure as individuals and as partners together. We promise to establish a home committed to our Jewish heritage, a home filled with wisdom, learning, laughter, tolerance, art, music, and compassion. Through each other's eyes, we see the world anew. May we be better in being together. We continue with the Sheva Brachot. These are the 7 wedding blessings which celebrate creation of all different types. And so after we chant the Sheva Brachot, I will read it in English so you can hear the beautiful translation of these blessings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehakol bara lichvodo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer ha'adam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et adam b'tzalmo, b'tzelem demut tavnito, v'hitkin lo mimenu binyan ad e'ad. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'adam. Sos tasis v'dagel Tzion, v'kibutz baneha l'tocha v'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach Tzion b'baneha. Sameach tisamach re'im ha'ahuvim, kisamechacha yitzircha b'gan eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai mesameach chatan v'chala. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bara sasum v'simcha chatan v'chala, asher bara sasum v'simcha chatan v'chala. Gila rina v'yitza v'chedva, ava ve'achva shalom v'reut. Gila rina v'yitza v'chedva, ava ve'achva shalom v'reut. Me'er Adonai Eloheinu We acknowledge the unity of all within the sovereignty of God, expressing our appreciation for this wine, symbol and aid of our rejoicing. We acknowledge the unity of all within the sovereignty of God, realizing that each separate moment and every distinct object points to and shares in this oneness. We acknowledge the unity of all within the sovereignty of God, recognizing and appreciating the blessing of being human. We acknowledge the unity of all within the sovereignty of God, realizing the special gift of awareness that permits us to perceive this unity and the wonder we experience as a man and a woman join their lives together. May rejoicing resound throughout the world as the homeless are given homes, persecution and oppression cease, and all people learn to live in peace with each other and in harmony with their environment. From the divine source of all energy, we call forth an abundance of love to envelop the couple. May they be for each other lovers and friends, and may their love partake of the same innocence, purity, and sense of discovery that we imagine the first couple to have experienced. We acknowledge the unity of all within the sovereignty of God, and we highlight today joy and gladness, bridegroom and bride, delight and cheer, love and harmony, peace and companionship. May we all witness the day when the dominant sounds through the world will be these sounds of happiness, the voices of lovers, the sounds of feasting and singing. Praised is love, blessed be this marriage. May the bride and bridegroom rejoice together. As you have shared the wine from a single cup, so may you, under God's guidance, share contentment, peace, and fulfillment from the cup of life. May you find life's joys heightened, its bitterness sweetened, and each of its moments hallowed by true companionship and love. In the presence of these witnesses, and in keeping with our tradition, you have spoken the words and performed the rites that unite your lives. With love and delight, in accordance with the laws of the state of New York and the traditions of the Jewish faith, I pronounce you husband and wife. This is Mitch's talit. I'm going to wrap it around the two of them. It is a symbol of the presence of all of you who are here, the presence of our loved ones who are not here, and the presence of God. May they all continue to be with you. And so now I offer you these words of blessing hallowed by our tradition that come directly from our Torah. May you hear them today and in many, many happy and joyous moments in your future. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May the light of God's presence always shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. May God's face always turn toward you and give you the gift of shalom, of wholeness, and of peace. Amen. Amen. And now, for the grand finale. As you prepare to break this glass, it is our hope for you that your happiness will last as long as it would take to put all these pieces back together.
2, 1.